forest ranger discovers hidden secrets deep within a secluded woodland that leads him to a strange structure. When Environmental Service Director Marc-Andre was exploring the Arcata Community Forest in California, he came across something remarkable that would stop him in his tracks. In preparation for the forest harvesting, Andre spent his career learning every inch of this forest, but he was shocked to discover something he had never seen in these woods before. While deep in the forest marking trees for harvest, Andre noticed a shadowy object enveloped in the trees. Stunned to discover something foreign in the woods, he moved closer to get a better look. As he inched his way closer, Andre couldn't believe what he was standing in front of. He thought he knew the forest inside and out, but now he wasn't so sure. Marc-Andre hadn't explored this section of the forest for years, as it was so deep in the wilderness. But on this day, he was staring at something that made the forest a lot more intriguing. Miles inside the depths of the woods lay a makeshift wooden cabin, with a padlock suturing the entrance. Curious and suspicious, Andre wondered what could be inside, but had no idea. As a forest ranger, he was used to finding debris from makeshift huts made by people seeking shelter in the woods. However, this was no ordinary hut. This was a mini home that was built with great care and attention to detail. Andre was very eager to take a look inside, but he couldn't be certain the cabin was empty. He decided to call forest technicians Javier Noguera and Nick Manfredonia for assistance, along with park ranger Heidi Grossman. As soon as they arrived, Andre and his team cut the padlock of the door and prepared themselves for what or who could possibly be inside. With her gun drawn, Park Ranger Heidi Grossman shouted, "Arcata Police," to prompt a response, but no one replied. The team then began to investigate inside the cabin to figure out who its owner was. The group quickly noticed just how tidy and well-kept the interior of this cute little lodge was. In the living room area, there was a kettle and next to it a wooden chair. The owner even had a pot-bellied stove for cooking and keeping the cabin warm. With all of these amenities, it seemed sure that someone was currently living in this hidden home. Along the walls inside the cabin, there were posters with inspirational messages and political opinions, giving the team more of an insight into who lived there. One poster, titled "Different Everywhere," featured an image of a nude woman holding a knife that read, "Every community creates its own outlaws." They even found a handwritten note with a list of things to do and get. The list included build bench, extend brush wall, get tongs, with some of the chores not yet ticked off. And little did they know, the team was quickly running out of time to gather evidence. While the team was aware that this home was somebody's prized possession, they also had to follow the laws, which stated that the cabin was built on the private property of the nature refuge, and therefore the house was illegally constructed. Andre and his team left an eviction notice for the occupant and walked away from the cabin, giving the owner time to leave the property. Shortly after, on a later date, the authorities returned to the cabin to check in on the occupant and to ensure they were leaving the premises. However, to their surprise, there was no cabin to be found. The owner of the wooden cabin hastily dismantled and packed up all of their belongings before the authorities returned. The only thing the inhabitant of the secluded cabin left behind was a charcoal-drawn squatter symbol. The symbol, which originated in 1979, symbolizes the occupants of an abandoned or unoccupied building or area of land. Sadly, the person who left this symbol at the side of the cabin was making a clear message to the authorities that this had been their home. Although the authorities never figured out who lived there, the clues to who did certainly paint the picture of an impressively artistic person who enjoyed their solitude, a classical novel, and being surrounded by nature.